But I am your living proof not only that you will one day be happy again, but that you will thrive. Every day, people contact me from all over the world seeking support in their narcissistic abuse recovery. This type of abuse can happen to anyone, but core wounds from child abuse or previous relationship trauma will make you even more vulnerable. A mental health professional is not immune to the insidious trauma bond that takes place in these appalling situations, and clinical psychologists, social workers, medical doctors, and psychiatrists who are themselves struggling with their inability to leave an abusive relationship have all asked for help from me as the go-to expert on narcissistic abuse. It's a form of abuse so hidden from view that friends and loved ones, let alone health professionals, just don't see it or know how to deal with it. My beautiful clients, who often come to me after other mental health professionals have been unable to help them, frequently tell me of their relief at finally finding someone who gets it. As a counsellor who specialises in narcissistic abuse recovery, I have supported over 4,000 victims of undiagnosed narcissists to leave their abuser, heal once the relationship has ended, and go on to lead happy and fulfilled lives. If you are reading this book, then you are or have been in a relationship with a narcissist, or you know someone who has, and you know you deserve more. I have written this book for you. Introduction. One day, Sophie woke up and realised that her soulmate had turned into someone she didn't recognise. The person who remained hated her. He also appeared to dislike one of their 3 children and made no attempt to hide his preference for their eldest child. Their youngest child, their son, was simply invisible to him and no longer even tried to gain his father's attention, let alone affection. It was distressing to watch her children, who were in constant competition with each other, become resentful of each other. It seemed that as a wife and mother, Sophie couldn't do anything right anymore. Why did he change? Who was this person who made her feel so ugly and worthless and couldn't seem to love his own children? What could she do? She wanted her soulmate back. She wanted him to tell her how to get back to their former blissful bubble, but he wouldn't. She wanted him to realize how much his younger children loved him, and for him to give them the love that he showed their eldest child, but again he wouldn't. Yet she couldn't leave him. Sophie thought that if she just tried harder, one day her soulmate would return. Such is the reasoning of every victim of narcissistic abuse. Narcissistic personality disorder, or NPD, is at the extreme end of the spectrum of what's known as narcissism or self-love, and it can have a devastating effect on people who love the narcissist. However, there are few scientific studies on narcissism, and relatively little is known about NPD, despite the prevalence of narcissistic traits in general society, simply because narcissists don't believe there's anything wrong, so don't seek treatment. Consequently, it's virtually impossible to get accurate statistics on the prevalence of NPD in Australia or the rest of the world. The statistics that are available vary, suggesting that between 0.5 and 1% of the population are diagnosed with NPD. However, these statistics must be wildly inaccurate, given that the likelihood of someone being diagnosed with NPD is minimal and most often limited to instances when psychological evaluation is court-ordered. Not only do these statistics grossly minimize the prevalence of toxic narcissists in our society, they don't provide accurate insight into the abuser's gender. But people with this disorder do have characteristic traits. People with NPD use emotional abuse or coercive control to control and denigrate their victim, and that can be quantified. According to a report released by the Australian Bureau of Statistics in 2022, 2.2 million women and 1.